It's the start of 2019, so I thought I'd name some games coming out this year that I'm at least slightly interested in. Yeah, I put might get in the title because I'm probably not getting all of these. Shocker, right? I only have 2 of these games locked down as must-buys, which is nothing compared to previous years, but at least I have backups in case I want more. Another reason I chose that title for the video is because some of these games might not even come out in 2019. Firstly, some might get delayed, and secondly, we don't even know the release dates to all of them, including my 2 must-buys, so that's why those are on the list as well. So with that said, here are 10 video games I might get in 2019. Beyond Good and Evil 2. I played the demo for the original Beyond Good and Evil, and I was stuck, so I didn't really do anything in it. I do find the sequel very interesting though, especially because of its impressive size. Hopefully, it won't have the same problem as No Man's Sky that had an enormous world with barely anything to do in it. It should prioritize quality over quantity, but I think Michel Ancel knows what he's doing, since he's the genius behind Rayman and has been developing this game for about a decade. I'll probably get it if it's successful, but until then, I'm treading carefully. Control. Now this game looks awesome. It's not among my must-buys, but it's probably the closest to them, because it looks really unique and fun to play. The debris manipulation is a cool gimmick, and so is the floating mechanic. You even have a gun in case your magical powers aren't enough. The game looks artistically unique as well, and the use of color leads to some very fascinating visuals. I'm not completely sold on it yet, I have to control my expectations if you will, but it definitely looks fun, and you'll probably see me talk about it next year. Crash Team Racing Nitro-Fueled. Being friends with hardcore Crash fans, you'd think CTR Nitro-Fueled would be one of my must-buys, but I'm actually not much of a Crash fan myself, so this one is just up for consideration. I was happy for my friends that CTR got remade though, and it does look nice. I played the original CTR for only a few minutes, and it felt a bit clunky to steer and drift, so I hope that's something this remake will fix. If I do get it, I hope it can live up to Mario Kart because I really like those games, and I'll be sure to race against my friends online. Death Stranding. Now this game is weird, which can either be a good or a bad thing. On one hand, I don't know what the hell is going on, but on the other hand, it has really creative ideas. I've seen some gameplay, and it mostly looks like a walking simulator, but it has some other interesting looking gameplay elements too. It's not like I have a connection to Kojima, but if Death Stranding is up to par with his other games, then it should be excellent. Dreams. This is a game I've somewhat followed since it was announced at E3 2015, and have been slightly interested in it. The interest for it has died quite a lot because of the long wait to get more news about it, but a friend of mine has rekindled some of that previous curiosity. You can apparently remake any game, make sequels to any game, and make new games entirely? If that's true, then I'm getting it for sure. It'll be a time-wasting game if that's the case, and incredibly impressive. Media Molecule made a short Little Big Planet demo inside of it, so that's some proof of its potential. But I'll have to wait and see if I can make the things I want, because if that's the case, then this is the most must-buy game ever. If I have the patience for it, that is. Oh well, I can play others' creations if I don't. Ghost of Tsushima. Speaking of must-buy, here's one of them, Ghost of Tsushima. First off, it's made by Sucker Punch, the creators behind Infamous and Sly Cooper, so of course I'm really interested in their new IP. Really glad they're making something new too, since Infamous is getting a bit stale at this point. This game has a really cool direction with a samurai theme. The gameplay looks a bit slow, but it seems to be an artistic choice given the impressive looking visuals accompanying your moves. Normally, I'd advocate for bright and colorful games, but this one manages to be bleak and beautiful at the same time. I'm getting this game for sure, and I hope it will boost Sucker Punch's reputation further, because I find them a bit underrated when it comes to developers. Jump Force. I'm a bit conflicted on this game. I do like anime, but I've only completed Death Note and My Hero Academia out of the ones represented in Jump Force, and I doubt I'll get into most of the others since they're such long shows. I'm almost done watching Hunter x Hunter, so watching that has boosted my interest for sure, especially since my 4 favorite characters from that show are in. Otherwise, MHA's representation is the only reason I want the game in the first place, and it so far only has 1 character, but I'm sure there will be more given its popularity. Death Note's characters aren't even playable, but I can see why, since they don't really fit the roster of colorful shonen mascots. When it comes to the gameplay itself, it looks pretty good, and the graphics are awesome. It'll probably become a must-buy when I'm done watching Hunter x Hunter, and even more so once I finish JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. JoJo doesn't have any characters announced, but come on, they have to be part of it. New Super Mario Bros. U Deluxe. I was a big fan of the original New Super Mario Bros. Because it felt new at the time and was really fun. I didn't care much for New Super Mario Bros. U though, since it didn't feel new anymore, but even so, I am interested in this deluxe edition for the Switch. Firstly, because it's another Switch game that I need more of, and secondly, it's a deluxe edition, so it'll have more to offer. I mean, it includes the Luigi version, which probably isn't much different, but it's more content nonetheless. Being a Switch game, it'll probably be really expensive, even if it is just an enhanced port, so that'll be the biggest turnoff, but if I'm desperate, I might commit. Pokemon! Now this is the game I'm the most excited for. I didn't get any of the Let's Go games, and that's not because I'm not interested in Pokemon. Quite the contrary, I love the series, and I've been anticipating a console Pokemon for a long time. However, I was afraid I would be burned out on the series again by getting Let's Go. There were also many other games out at the time, and I considered the 8th generation game to be way more important than some kind of Kanto remake with Pokemon Go elements. It'll be nice to finally play Pokemon on a console, a portable one no less, and I'm excited to see what new creatures will be added. I hope they mix up the gameplay too, because the mostly unchanging formula is the reason why I've been burned out on the series numerous times. Psychonauts 2. I always welcome modern platformers, both because they're rare to find nowadays and since many of them haven't yet had the chance to age badly, which is why I gave up on the original Psychonauts. I'm hesitant to get the sequel, but from what I saw of it at the Game Awards, it looks really good and seems to be filled to the brim with creativity. Among the many games with realistic visuals, it's a breath of fresh air to see something that looks incredibly unique, and this game has some wacky character and level designs. Psychonauts 2 is definitely high on my consideration list, but I'll need more convincing if I'm going to get it. 2019 doesn't look like a very good year in gaming compared to 2017 and 2018, and compares more to 2015 or 2016 to me. I might be wrong about that, but I don't see it. The past 2 years had such excellent releases, and the 2 games I'm looking the most forward to this year don't really seem like masterpieces, and they might not even come out until later. Who knows, maybe my low expectations will improve the outcome. I'm Arcadon, and hopefully you'll see me next time!